I'm Steve, and welcome to Jamsinentertainment. Today on Throwback Thursday, we're looking at Pulp Fiction, another John Travolta movie. Directed by Quentin Tarantino, also starring Samuel L. Jackson, Harvey Keitel, Ving Rhames, Bruce Willis, Tim Roth. I love this movie. It's my favorite Quentin Tarantino movie, followed by the Kill Bill movies. I know Reservoir Dogs was Tarantino's first movie, and the dialogue in there is great. But Pulp Fiction, for me, this crowned Quentin Tarantino as the king of dialogue. The dialogue in this movie is just absolutely amazing. When I do write, I wish I could write dialogue like this. My dialogue is very cringeworthy. But if anyone else were to make this movie, if Quentin Tarantino did not create this, it would have been a very different movie. I mean, obviously, it would have been a different movie, but I think so in the perspective of the robbers, which is Tim Roth and Amanda Plummer, and the perspectives of Vincent and Jules, John Travolta and Samuel L. Jackson. I don't know if anyone else would have gone with their perspectives in the beginning of this movie. I find it brilliant that we see the conversation that the robbers have before they decide to hold up the diner. And I love, it's the best conversation in the entire movie. The one between Vincent and Jules before they go to the apartment. You never see the goon side, or you rarely see the goon side. Normally, it's the people that the goons are going after. You'll see them. You'll get to learn about them a little bit. You hear a knock at the door and the goons appear. No, other way around. The goons are on their way to the people that did their boss wrong. And all the actors in this movie bring this dialogue to life. They bring this story, this script, these characters to life. You really get the feel from John Travolta and Samuel L. Jackson that Vincent and Jules have known each other probably forever. And this is more than friendship. They're really brothers. The way they interact, the way they can take cues from each other without saying a word. They just know what to do. Very well done. Now, my favorite scene after my favorite conversation is the scene that follows the conversation, where Jules and Vincent go into this apartment and confront the people that Marcellus Wallace was working with. And Samuel L. Jackson just gives probably one of, if not the best monologues to ever grace the screen. Love that monologue. And I'm not just talking about the part where he's quoting the Bible, which I've looked up. It's not exactly word for word. I think Quentin Tarantino took pieces here and there and oh, okay, this would be great in a script. But aside from that, it's awesome. The whole interaction where Jules is talking in this apartment, it's just gold. It's movie gold. And it's very quotable. The part where Brett or Brad, whatever the character's name is, keeps prattling on and on and on, and Jules just casually takes out his gun and shoots the guy on the couch. Oh, I'm sorry, did I break your concentration? Man, these characters seem so real, and I don't know how Tarantino, well, it's not just Tarantino. I mean, he writes the dialogue, and then him and a casting crew get the cast together, but those actors, all of the actors in all of his films are just top notch. Another thing I just thought of, not only are Vincent and Jules best of friends and brothers, but they make an amazing team. The conversation leading up to the apartment, yes, I love this scene. I'm going to talk about it a lot. Vince is like, how many people are up there? And Jules is like, I don't know, 3 or 4, maybe 5. These 2 guys take control of the room as soon as the door opens. They just walk right in. Jules stays at the front. Vincent goes to the kitchen. Instant control of the room, whether they're armed or not. Love this movie. But I think I've probably been gushing over that scene a little too much. But I don't know. I don't think there's such thing as too much gushing. Bruce Willis' character is Butch, and you're introduced to him when he's having a meeting with Marcellus Wallace. And they build up Ving Rhames' character. First, he's just a voice, then he's a hand, then he's the back of his head, and then all in the same area, you do get to see Marcellus Wallace's face, but it's so far away you can't really tell. And if you don't know who Ving Rhames is when you're watching this for the first time, or all the way back in '94 when this movie came out, he's still going to be a mystery to you. You don't really see Marcellus Wallace's face. Let's see, is it before? Yeah, you don't see his face until Bruce Willis is driving, and he just kind of, well, he literally runs into him on the street. But Butch is a boxer, older boxer. Marcellus actually asked him in this conversation, like, how many fights do you think you got back? How many fights do you think you got in you? 1, 2? And the whole conversation is Marcellus gives Butch a whole lot of money to take a fall in the fight, and Butch agrees to it. Only he's not agreeing to it. But I don't want to give everything away. The other aspect of Butch is that he has his father's watch that he's a little more than obsessed with. He's certainly got some daddy issues. You're introduced to the watch via a flashback starring Christopher Walken. It's one of his more subtle roles. It's not one of his huge, over-the-top, insane roles. This is a little more subtle. He gets a little goofy, but not too goofy. And he tells him the story of the watch. I'm not going to tell you it because I won't do it justice. I really recommend you watch the movie, even though you can find the watch story on YouTube. It's worth to watch the entire movie. There's only one part of this movie I don't like, and this splits a lot of people. I'm pretty sure it's a pawn shop. It's the pawn shop scene. That's the part I don't like. And that's all I'm going to say about that. I've been aside from the one scene, I've been praising this movie a lot. I forgot to talk about the plot. First, the movie's told out of order. You'll go forward in time, and then you'll go back in time, depending on which character you're following. And there's really a bunch of little plots that diverge into two plots. The two plots are Vincent Vega's plot and Butch's plot. Vincent's, you see a lot of it with Jules. They go confront the people that Marcellus was working with. And in the conversation him and Jules have, you learn that he's going to take Mia Wallace out, Marcellus's wife. And then Butch's plot is the whole fight, but he doesn't go down. He pulls one over on Marcellus. And the movie starts in the diner and it ends in the diner. And this movie wouldn't work if it was told chronologically. It just wouldn't. I think it would be a slog of a film if it was told chronologically. Those are my thoughts on Pulp Fiction. Let me know your thoughts on Pulp Fiction in the comments below. If you don't have your copy of Pulp Fiction, you can go down in the description below and buy yours. You'd also be helping the channel out and grow the community. No review next week. I'm going to be on vacation, but when I get back, I'm going to be reviewing The Hateful Eight, the extended cut on Netflix. Along with no review, there'll also be no podcasts next week. There's no podcast this week. I was going to film one with Austin. We're going to talk about Second Life. We're still going to record that. It's just this week we couldn't schedule it, unfortunately. I mean, we were able to hang out. If you saw on Instagram and Facebook, we built a Lego dino set, but that's all the time we had to do, unfortunately. So I'll be recording that when I get back. Walt wants to come back on the podcast, so we'll get together for that. And also my friend Sam, who either might be joining me and Walt in the next conversation, or we might be doing our own podcast together. I know I have a Sunday, Tuesday schedule on Twitch. Unfortunately, Sundays have been kind of busy. With the vacation coming up, obviously I'm not going to be on Twitch this Sunday and Tuesday. That's everything that's going on. I'll see you in a week. If you like what you saw, like it. If you think other people like it, share it. If you really liked it, hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching and live your imagination.